everybody, it's Dorr. I got Ryan here. And in today's video, it's all about Glock triggers. So at SHOT Show of this year, Glock dropped their new performance trigger for the Gen 5. It's not offered on the gun yet. It's kind of an added upgrade. We went ahead and put one of those on a 17. We've got the stock, bare bones Gen 5 trigger as well. And then we also have a pyramid trigger. So we're gonna be comparing them, running them through their paces. Up next. All right, guys, so if you're living in a Gen 5 Glock world, this is the place to be. Starting off, we have a bare bones 19. This one's mine. I took the ambidextrous slide stop off the right side because I don't use it. It's got some Trijicon sights, you know, they're okay. But most importantly, it just has that stock, you know, 5.5 to 6, maybe not quite 6 pound trigger pull. My last issued pistol when I was in the service was a Gen 4 Glock. And I think that this trigger, right, is definitely an upgrade from the Gen 4. The Gen 4 was just like a joyless, mushy mess. I think I actually like the Gen 3s better personally, but I guess we're splitting hairs here. Yeah. But anyway, you know, these things are known for their reliability. You know, they're shovels. You're gonna hear that on this channel, that our Glocks are shovels and they just work, and that's why we carry them. But, you know, obviously it can be frustrating when you know you're not getting those, hitting those faster shots, those longer shots on the range. So, Rye, tell us about this performance trigger. I got to mess with it a little bit at the range day at SHOT Show, but you spent some serious time on this thing.
Well, I really enjoy this new one. I've ran my paces through a bunch of the different triggers, and for Glock putting this out with their flat face trigger on it, it's breaking about 4 pounds. It's got a nice crisp reset. It breaks at 90. I enjoy it. It's a serious upgrade compared to what comes on the gun. I've got nothing but good things to say about it.
How much was it?
It was $99.99.
Did you put it in yourself?
I did.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do.
It's 2 pins.
Drop it in.
Pull your guts out, and then pull your trigger right out and pop the new one in.
Okay.
It's a 5-minute job.
And did you notice a significant difference right off the bat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I shot both the stock trigger and then this new performance trigger, and it's definitely a step up. But though compared to a purpose-built aftermarket trigger, there's a lot of those out there. Reliability may vary greatly, so be careful what you go with. But this is Miles 34, and he's got a pyramid trigger set up on this thing. And he hasn't had any real issues with it that I know of. And it's coming in, I think south of 4. You know, it definitely feels like it's in that 3.5 range. I didn't check it. They are
calibrated fingers.
Yeah, you could definitely feel. So the stock trigger, you know, it's coming in between 5.5 and 6 pounds. I doubt you'd get one over 6 pounds, but there is a little variance there. Then this one is about a pound lighter on average, pound and a half.
It's probably about a pound and a half, yeah.
Yeah, and then this one's coming in south of 4, guys. I think this one's probably coming in right at around 3.5. The price point on this one's about twice as high, 200-ish, maybe a little less. Yeah, but Glock, these triggers are Glock triggers. And if reliability to hell and back is what you want, you know, if you just want a shovel that's a little bit lighter, a little bit sharper, hooks into that earth a little bit better, if you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get the performance trigger. I was talking with Shane Coley at Range Day, and they've been working on it for a really long time. They're very proud of it. They stand behind it, he was saying. You know, I just got to get around it. I'm going to change the sights on my 19 anyway. And how many rounds do you think you got through this thing?
I got north of 2,000. I don't have a exact round count, but we've been running it.
I put 5 or 6 mags through it today, and 0 issues. Gun fed like a starving, ravenous beast that it is. And man, if you guys are on the fence or you want to try it out, they're pretty cheap. Generally, if you've got a good gun shop in your area, they'll install it for you if you buy it from them. I've generally been anywhere I've ever been as far as triggers, sights, things like that. And definitely at distance and at speed is where you're gonna really see the difference. It may seem minute, but I don't think you're gonna be losing any of that reliability.
No.
And I'm all about stock Glocks. I'm all about reliability. I just need guns to work. I'll figure it out as I go, as needed. But compared to the Pyramid, you know, if you're gonna go all in, you know, if that's your speed, I've heard mixed reviews on these things. The big thing for me though, on these aftermarket triggers, yeah, they are gonna be a little bit better. And if your firearm is a sporting good, if it's a toy for competition and just using at the range, then go nuts. But if your firearm is a tool that you may need to use for, less than favorable or joyful purposes, it's gotta be reliable, guys. And I think Glock really knocked it out of the park with this one. I haven't heard of any issues. I haven't seen any issues. And I did speak directly with those guys at Glock and they stand by it. So for whatever that's worth, that's my 2 cents. You got anything else you want to add, bud?
I concur. The only thing I would say is I like that it breaks right at 90. It's the same trigger pull every time. Their new flat face trigger definitely really upgrades the whole experience. You're gonna break at the same spot, your fingers go in the same spot, same trigger pull every time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for what it is, for what it's used for, its intended purpose, it is just gonna make life a little bit easier, a little bit better. If you're running a red dot on your pistol, you might as well try to go with the best trigger option you can, because it is gonna make you more effective, especially with those more difficult shots when it comes to speed and distance. All right, guys, that was just a quick down and dirty. We wanted to share our findings with you. Obviously, if you have a Gen 5, you've already got that stock trigger, and they work. And I think as far as the stock trigger goes, coming out of the factory at Glock, it's definitely the best one, but that's just me. But, for $100, the performance trigger, I think, is a justified upgrade. And especially, obviously, if you're running the red dot, if you're looking at running other accoutrements, lights and threaded barrels and cans and all that stuff, having a little bit better trigger is definitely going to make the difference. Obviously, you need to be able to aim consistently and effectively, but after that, trigger pull makes a huge difference. So I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to get one. I'm going to try it out even further. This one's got, a couple thousand rounds through it so far. I got to shoot a couple mags through it, and I could definitely tell the difference, man. I'm a believer. And then again, if you want to go into that higher realm, higher price point, true aftermarket, be careful. Heed warning. There's significant reliability issues out there, but they are lighter. They are, higher performing, I guess, on the range. So just a takeaway, guys, there's a give and a take. Performance trigger is back with the same guarantees, same to hell and back reliability as any other Glock product. It doesn't void any warranties or anything like that. So that's definitely a plus in my book. What do you think, bud?
I think it's a big plus. I'm gonna be buying more. I've got a stack of upgraded Glocks, and I've got a stack of other triggers, but this one's performing as good as any of them. I'll be sticking with it.
All right, guys, thanks for being here with us. I think that about wraps up our deep dive into these triggers. If you like the content, please give us a like, and dude, hit that bell, man. We got a video coming out just about every day. We're pumping them out as fast as anybody. We've got quite an extensive back catalog. If you haven't checked that out, please do so. And we'll see you next time. This is Dorr, Ryan, out.